what
Is there any topics that you want to make sure to discuss?
there's a lot.
Okay, go ahead. Hit me with them. So we'll list them and I'll make sure to check them off.
Okay. So I guess what I'm trying to do is so I've been seeing a lot of people talk about like branding.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And personal branding. So I want to be able to go down that for people because one, for your audience, you're obviously super growing audience. We want to give them real value of like what that looks like. And at the same time, because you said we're pushing the envelope. I'm down as fuck for that. So there's going to be some interesting things on there, just talking about how you can't copy your way to the same success that you're watching. Okay. And so one of my statements is you build the person and then you build the brand, right?
Okay.
And I show them what that looks like.
Well, there's no point in kicking the can any further down the road. Let's get this show on the road.
Yeah.
We're back with another discussion on Key Factors Podcast, Real Estate AF, where the AF stands for And Finance. Today, I'm bringing back one of my favorite guests, a guest that has been on here multiple times, and each time he gives us several nuggets of gold. And I think that he's kind of taken over the social media world by storm. So without further ado, I've got my good friend, Dylan Shively. Dylan, how you doing?
Good, man. Good. How are you? Hell of an introduction. I got to live up to that.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck.
Dang.
It's been a little while since we've had you on here, but obviously you've been shaking and moving. There's a lot of things that, you know how they say true friends stay friends no matter what they're doing, and without having to go, hey, you okay? You thinking of me? You talking to me? That's kind of like Dylan. We do our thing, we keep it rolling, and then we come back together and then tell each other what's new.
And it's never the offensive side of like, hey, I haven't heard from you for a while.
Never.
But it's just always like
Doing your thing.
Yeah, dude. I got a friend back home. His name is Greg. I like I'm talking about like kids, super young kids, and we're the same way. Whereas so I don't have that with a lot of people. So hey guys, it's special. Okay,
That's right. So Dylan, tell us what's new, man. What's going on?
Yeah, so a couple things. First thing, for the people that do know me, credit is always a big deal. I've been doing it for 8 years now. It's kind of crazy to hear that, but it's been 8 years. And so some of the things that were new there is that world of credit and helping people with the credit is always evolving. So I'm always responsible for trying to figure out how I can best serve the people that are coming to us.
Yeah.
And so, we've done plenty of stuff together. So you know how pricing works and how people do things and familiar with the industry. So now what we do to take things by storm again is leading from the front. So what we've done is we now have a one-time cost, which is only $300, by the way.
Okay.
So I have no problem sharing this because nobody's ever going to be able to touch it for what we're doing. So it's a $300 one-time cost. But now the client who signs up has lifetime access to us. There's no expiration. And
then you also created kind of a self-service type portal as well, that very, very impressive, forward thinking, and very futuristic in regards to what a customer can do, what the results they can get back, and the value that they're pulling from your website and your service.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So what's new on the platform? You're doing the $300, you get everything you want. Is that business now kind of on autopilot?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's been for a while.
Okay.
It's been on autopilot for probably the last like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
But what was working all the way up to now.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe it's me where I feel like I can't just do the same thing all the time. I always have to evolve. I have to find out what's going on. So here's part of the reason why it happened. And maybe this helps other people that does credit. If you've never heard this, you may want to look it up. The problem right now is the bureaus are getting really heavy on these what's called stall letters.
Okay.
Right. So if we're mailing out letters on a client's behalf, and let's say the client even lives in another part of Texas or on the opposite side of San Antonio, wherever, it doesn't even have to be out of state. If we're mailing them from where we are, but the client, like, let's say lives on the west side, well, every time you mail it out from the post office, there's a tag number that every post office has.
Okay.
So when it gets mailed from the post office over here, but the client lives over here, they're going to say, oh, we think like the 42 post office that they drove by to go to this one is unlikely it was them. Not that there's anything wrong with it,
Right.
but it now causes a red flag to trigger the stall letter. Because they're like, hey, it looks like you hired a third party. We applaud your efforts, but we need additional information to further investigate. Now it makes the results take longer to happen for the client.
Kind of like when they were counting the ballots in 2020's election.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
it's like, wait, dead people vote? What? Oh shit.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a fun one.
That makes good sense. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling. Yeah.
So now what happens is we've eliminated that by we're still preparing all the letters for the clients, because the most difficult part is, Dylan, I know this is a problem. I don't know how to speak on it. I don't know how to read the credit report. I don't know what to say, what to write, where to mail it.
Right.
So we prepare everything. Now we just email it to the client. They print, sign, and mail out. And along with that, we give them an instruction letter. So they don't even have to think about what address goes to where.
Wow.
You're literally just signing. We've done all of the work, and you're just mailing it out and letting us know that you mailed it out.
Gotcha.
Now what happens is we've seen a significant increase in not just things getting deleted that weren't getting deleted before,
Right.
but the time frame is like in half.
Oh, wow.
We have people getting first round, second round, third round deletions on big things that would usually take 4, 5, 6 months.
6 months. And those 6 months, typically with a credit restoration repair, they're known as rounds. You've got to go to attack this. You've got to send out another letter. And the electronic way obviously is going to be the most efficient in regards to receiving it and time and all that good stuff. But it's also the most efficient for them to prove that it's inaccurate.
Correct.
Or accurate. So the old school way of mailing the letters is always going to be the best response for you as the consumer disputing your credit.
Yep.
Is there a true term for the stall letter, or is that something that's coined?
Yeah, it's a stall letter. It's a stall letter tactic.
Yeah.
That's used. It's very common between the three bureaus. It's just a process that they have. Like, hey, if we need to stall for more time to properly investigate,
Right.
what are the things that are going to trigger that? And so one of the things is when they realized people were hiring third parties, because most will charge like a monthly fee. And again, it's not that like anything's wrong with it or whatever. It's
Right.
just they know most charge a monthly fee. So they're like, hey, well, if the client is going to hire somebody to do this, well, then they kind of milk the process a little
Makes
bit.
sense.
And they're like, hey, we're going to make this a little bit more difficult.
Well, let's also bring in the concept of many years ago. I started the credit repair company with my buddy. We were 19. That was many years ago. Very few people were disputing credit.
Yep.
So as time progresses, people evolve, technology evolves. They've got tons of people disputing credit now, especially being that it's a thing that can help your credit score go up. So how do you deal with that as a credit company? Well, you put measures in place that kind of slow roll that process coming in from hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people every day.
Yep.
It makes sense on their part. It makes even more sense on your part to kind of
Yeah. Well, it's like, hey, we started to notice that results were taking a little bit longer than normal. And so there's triggers you pay attention to in patterns. And when you work with high volume, like a lot of people, you can notice patterns faster.
Sure.
Right. So we started to notice like, man, usually this is a little bit easier. Usually this happens at this point. But now the predictions we're making are off. They're taking longer.
Yeah.
Let's go find out why. And then so we took a batch of a couple hundred people and we were like, let's go and have them mail their own. We're going to make everything for them.
Sure.
Go mail your own. And then we noticed with every single person, every single one, oh, the deletions are happening faster. They're not getting stall letters anymore. And we're like, okay, so it's not what we're saying.
Right.
It's how it's getting delivered.
That's right.
So then I went back to say, well, how can I take this process and make it more efficient? And as you know, now we have to go develop something.
That's right.
Now we have to go figure out how can we make sure people can track it? How can we deliver it to them? How can we make it seamless? How can we make it effortless? And so now, even though we were able to do that, you would think, oh, now it's going to be more expensive. You made the service better. It's going to cost more. And that traditionally in most businesses, that's what they do.
And technically you could, but I would imagine that you being you probably said, you know what? This is something that everybody needs to be doing. We're going to lead the pack with this.
Yep.
Boom.
And so now I made it less. And so just for reference of people that never heard of me or this is your first time, when we were mailing out everything for everybody, it was based on how many things do we have to dispute? Because that would assume the paperwork load.
Sure.
Right. So we would charge anywhere from 500 to 900 as a one-time fee. And we'd work with you for up to 8 rounds. Things were going good. So now you pay 300 one time and you have us for an entire lifetime.
Yeah.
So now let's just run a scenario because we noticed this pattern too. During COVID times, people were signing up. Credit was good.
Yeah.
Well, now they're, 3-4 years. Crazy to think. I know we still mention COVID like it just happened, but it's like we're coming into 2025. But it's like
this dark shadow cloud that just continues to follow us.
No matter what.
No matter what.
So now it's like, hey, we're like 4 years into this, or getting out of it.
Yeah.
And people are coming back and saying, hey, you helped me before. I had another situation.
Like I ran out of credit room on my revolving credit cards because we are at the highest. Everybody is. It's just,
So now I'm trying to think, well, how do I solve the problem for these people?
Mm-hmm.
So now you pay one time and you have us for life. So let's say you sign up today, credit's good to go.
Okay.
Maybe it takes 3, 4, 5 months, whatever. A year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, whatever. Dylan, I ran into another problem. I need letters again. Well, guess what? You never pay.
You already paid for it.
You've paid for it. You have it for life.
So it's not a la carte service after the fact. Wow.
Nope.
So $300
done.
And the goal is, man, if you're national, which you are, to get $300 from every person in America one time, which covers all the expenses, the manpower, the paperwork, profit margin, lights, health, all of the things.
Just to run a system.
Yeah.
But every time I click a button, there's a cost. Every time I process a letter, there's a cost. Every time I sign in, create another user, there's a cost.
Mm-hmm.
It's
true.
And so,
and you've got to be very, very careful about that $300 or the figure that you come up with in general, because let's say a year from now, if some type of unforeseen expense comes up, you got to eat it.
Yep. It's all on me.
Absolutely. Wow.
Yes.
That's brave and very admirable of you and your company and team to be able to stand behind something like that.
Thank you.
Truly.
It's where I got it from was, again, doing the right thing. Yeah, I've said it in all my stuff. It's in my bios, whatever. I always say, do what's right, not what's easy. So the easier thing is, hey, we made this process better. We should charge you more. But I say, you know what? I'm going to do what's right, because another part of this is now that I'm not taking on the cost of mailing it out, I'm going to pass it off to people and not charge them the same amount or more to increase a profit margin. Let me share the savings with you, because the goal is to help you fix your shit.
That's right. And historically, the idea behind credit repair, restoration, whatever you want to call it, it got a bad rap because, and this is years ago, because the company was almost prowling on the weak, so to speak.
Very predatory.
They've already been kicked down. Well, they've already been kicked down. Now I've got to charge you X amount. You technically can charge whatever the heck you want for the service itself. But is that the right thing to do? And for how long do you charge them? Because I've seen companies in the past that will say it's a monthly charge, but it's going to take 14 months.
Exactly.
Like, what?
Yeah. But they'll do the, hey, you only have $100 a month? That's cool.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll take that only $100 you have a month.
Exactly. And then when you look at it, like, I'm trying to teach people this. Stop thinking of the right now. Because if you're saying right now, I can only afford $100. Got it. Well, now you've budgeted $100 for 14 months and you paid $1,400.
Yep.
You're not thinking of the end. And I mean, of course, obviously this will go into mortgages. It'll go into cars. It'll go into anything. Like, they think of what can I afford right now, not what is it going to cost me in the future for making this decision now. And so to eliminate all of that, hey, you pay one time and you have lifetime access.
That's solid, man. That really is.
Now you don't worry about, Dylan, what if it's not going to work? Well, we don't have an expiration date.
That's right.
Well, what happens after so many months? Hey, if it's not where you want it to be, we keep going.
That's right. Or sometimes it's, if it didn't work, then it's probably accurate.
Right. Yeah.
It's what it is.
So yeah.
So that being the case, I want to stick on credit for just a moment.
Yeah.
As we kind of touch on something that us in the mortgage business have experienced, are experiencing, or will experience here in the near future with rates dropping. The credit bureaus are, I guess, not making enough money from all the free credit reports out there that they're giving, what have you, but they are selling consumers information like crazy, called trigger leads.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of them. I don't purchase them, but there are hundreds of mortgage companies across the nation that are hiring call centers to take on these leads. And as soon as we, as the lender, pull their credit, boom, they get a notification saying, John Smith just had his credit pull and it was for mortgage. Send him this script in a text message, this in an email, and call him to say this. And they're all blanket statements. Customers have sent them to me like, hey, we can get you as low as 4.5% interest rate. You should just give us a call. That has no basis. Like, the customer shows it to me and they're like, they can get me a 4.5, but I'm a 580 credit score. Like, they don't know that part. So they're going to tell you anything and everything to try and get you to leave what you're already working on for something grass on the greener on the other side concept. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think that is, I don't know, right? Of course they can, but is it right by them to be doing that?
So two things. One, if I'm going to go on the straight business side, I can see where it was smart for them.
For sure.
You know, let's capitalize.
That's revenue out of thin air.
Right. I have this idea. Let's see if we make money with it.
That's right.
And it's equivalent to like when people run ads where they say this is a numbers game. The more money we pump into the ads, hey, a bunch of people may say no, but for everyone who says yes, that means it's working.
That's right.
However, when we go to the moral and ethical side of running the business, and when there's plenty of other ways that work just fine where you can earn it.
That's right.
Does it feel like a cheat code? Yes. Is it a good experience for a client? No.
Right.
And ultimately, everyone in this industry, I would imagine, would be thinking about the client experience.
Yeah.
And so now you're getting away from the actual client's journey or experience with this kind of purchase.
You hit it right on the head, because that is the most, I think, important piece to the question that I asked, which is that consumer experience going through this process. And it's already a confusing and tough feat that they go through or set off to go through. And now they're being taunted, pulled, and baited with anything under the sun that has nothing to do with their situation itself.
Yeah.
It's tough for an expert to then advise after you've gotten a customer that received 15 text messages from 15 different companies saying all different types of things.
And imagine the first time home buyer that is already so up in the air and not sure.
Yeah.
And then by the time you pull credit, they may be calling you, and now it's made your job harder because they're like, hey, does this person work for you? What company is this? I thought your company name was this. Who is this person? Why is everybody getting a hold of me? I'm guessing, and I may be wrong, but I'm guessing whoever came up with this idea probably has some type of experience or background in car sales.
Maybe so.
Because that's a very car sales tactic that would happen.
Yep.
That exact thing happens in the car industry.
Absolutely.
And so it's just very weird that would come over to the mortgage side. I could see the benefit of the person who created it and the people using it, the numbers game, I get it. But here's also another thing if you want to talk long-term in business. Well, now the people that are dialing, like you said, it's like a call center.
That's exactly right.
Right. So in most call centers, again, I'm assuming, but are they here? Do we know, like, are they here? Like, so it's like now you're risking the safety of these people's information. Right. And so now you're putting the consumer at risk for $1.
That's right.
Which is not good because you're putting them with people that you don't have them in the same building as you. Right. Like, so if the client is applying with you, you're right here.
Yeah.
If at that same time, they're now getting 15 text messages and they decide they want to opt in to continue the conversation. They have no idea who that is and who they're exchanging information with. So now it's super at risk. Like, there's got to be something.
So that being said, you made me think of something else that is actually deceptive, but yet genius on their part, because they're now creating more ways of fear for the consumer
Mhm.
to sign up for their services
Yep.
that create this protection,
Mhm.
but the protection is being dropped and given out to others
Exactly.
to create this circular
Yep.
life
If you-
cycle of credit,
Yep.
and you need us, and we're gonna use you, but yet you need us, etc.
Mhm.
It's weird.
It's very similar, like not that the plan was to do anything politics related, but if you notice the pattern that the worst things happen and it gets worse and worse closer and closer to the elections.
Yeah.
Right? Because problems need to be solved in order for the hero to emerge.
Isn't that crazy?
Right? So it's like, it almost kind of feels like that, where it's like, let's go and create this problem where you're putting yourself at risk and you're getting all these things. So then that way we can give you another thing to offer how we're going to solve that problem.
That's right.
When the problem never fucking,
There wasn't a
like,
problem.
Exactly.
So if there isn't a problem, but you've got a product that for a non-problem,
Mhm.
would you go and just create that problem so now you can use your service? Kind of, I don't want to be conspiracy hat theorist, but we've got to slow down the growth of Americans of this. We've got to sell more masks. We've got to sell more vaccines. So let's create this thing. And I'm not saying it's fake, you guys. I'm just painting a picture of how
Just a comparison.
massive something like this conceptually could actually be and work with the American people.
Mhm.
I would love to see, I'm going to look something up, JC. I would love to see how much do credit companies make off of trigger leads in the USA. Let's see if it knows or is willing to tell us, because this machine, ChatGPT, is pretty damn smart, and I've trained it pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it calls me daddy.
Hey.
Credit companies in the U.S. make a significant revenue from selling trigger leads, which are generated when the consumer's credit report is pulled, typically during the mortgage or loan application. The cost per trigger lead can vary widely, ranging from $5 over $150. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Now let's see
I
here.
was saying it's not publicly broken down. How convenient.
You had to take a guess. I'm starting to get ChatGPT to
Getting it
give
down.
opinions.
Nice.
It guessed correctly who I was going to vote for president.
Nice.
Based on what it knows about me.
Oh, shit.
If you had to take a guess, what would you say is the total revenue gained by these companies selling the leads to mortgage companies?
Yeah. Sounds pretty good.
And it's going to give me another rebuttal of I can't. And then I'm going to say, well, take a guess. Let's see here. For context, around 7 million homes are sold each year in the U.S.
The revenue could exceed easily 100 million.
Ooh. And that's annually.
Well, this is being speculative.
So
It's a highly profitable business for credit bureaus, given the widespread. So here's another way you can ask it. Say, I want to get into the business of selling trigger leads. Come up with a plan that makes sense for me to get a certain amount of.
Get this.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to get into the business of selling trigger leads to mortgage companies.
You know, do some research so I can find out competitively. You know what I mean?
Auto sales companies. Let's see here. Can you do the research to come up with a great revenue model for my new venture and estimate the annual profitability for the first 2 years? But let's see. ChatGPT.
Here it is.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we got a little smarter. Lead pricing.
Could be around 5 to 50.
Mm-hmm.
And then sell for 100 to 150.
Basic leads, scored 600. There we go. Whoa.
God.
They're putting it into brackets. Wow. charging different amounts for the credit score because technically they already know what credit score is that they're giving you. How impressive is that? Wow. Revenue projections. Here we go. Okay, basically, whoa.
Oh,
Look at this. Boom. This is just year one. Basic leads, premium leads, total revenue, just under $1 million. If you want to make a whole bunch of money out of thin air, get a hold of everybody's credit reports. That's the tough part first. I would imagine that year two, it's going to double. Oh, there we go. Total revenue year two.
over $1 million.
Over $1 million. Just like that. Well,
They're assuming 20% growth rate.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that it would be more, which is why they leaned in hard in doing this. Because one day it wasn't there, the next it was everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
In conclusion, you could generate $360,000 in profit the first year, $420,000 in profit in the second year, assuming a steady increase in lead volume and pricing.
That's crazy. That's whoa, money out of thin air.
Yeah.
And that's just to show Americans, those listening, tuning in, the importance of your credit, keeping it close to your chest, and knowing what is real and not, in my opinion. Because anytime you apply for something, your goal is to purchase or finalize whatever it is that you're purchasing, but everybody else's goal is to go after your business, just so you know. And I guess in the end, when stuff like that happens, the consumer wins, you would think, unless they're messing up their process.
Yep.
And I agree with that, truly.
I think it is.
So we talked about some credit stuff. We talked about a little bit of the updates, catching up a little bit more. What's been going on? You've been on TV shows. You've been working on some branding stuff.
Yeah.
I want to dive into that.
Okay. So, so the TV show that I was on twice. So the first time, so the show is called The Blocks. It's an entrepreneur show. It's for like startup companies, and it's not like a Shark Tank style. It's you're going to like this boot camp essentially to just show you how to build and get better at your business.
Okay.
And so the guy who runs it is Wes Bergman. He was the guy on he's on The Villain right now, but he's been on The Challenge and like multiple MTV. For the people that are, you know, not like 20 years old, you probably have no idea what I'm saying. There used to be this thing called MTV, and it was like really popular. And
big for real world rules, Teen Mom.
Yeah, Raid My Room, all that shit. Next.
Cribs.
Yeah, MTV Cribs.
I was an MTV kid, man.
They used to play music?
Yeah, they used to play music. That's right, JC.
Wow.
So for those people who know what we're talking about, if you look up Wes Bergman, he's been on multiple TV shows, and so he's always been into entrepreneurship, and so he does a lot of things now, and he's just been crushing it, and so he developed his own TV show to help entrepreneurs with their stuff. So it's a reality TV show for entrepreneurship. So like, you got to be into building businesses to want to watch the show. Otherwise, you would think it's super boring.
Yeah.
So
it's almost the same concept with this podcast. You're not tuning into this podcast to learn how to cook, guys.
Yeah.
It's just truth of the matter. You're going to get some financial, real estate, credit, entrepreneurial, sometimes some act right, and some mental, personal self-checks concept. And we're only with experts here. So same concept with the show here is you're going to the actual people that are doing it or have done it.
Exactly. So, and just to kind of give perspective, they get about 180,000 people per season that apply.
Wow.
And then you go through like this whole rigorous interview process to even be qualified, let alone to even get on the show.
Yeah.
So I was on the show for season 13, which just officially aired. I want to say it just aired about a month ago, because I think they're on episode 4 or 5 right now.
Okay.
And then some months went by. We had a really good time there. I got to spend more time with them. I went to this thing called grad school, which was where you go to his house personally. You hang out with him. You get more one-on-one. It's a select group of people. And we just like really started hanging out, and he's super cool. And everything that he taught was applicable, which is my flavor. Like, I like that.
Yeah.
I don't like
over my head. What's the point? Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
He's very just like straight to the point, lean startup. This is what you do. Understand these terms. This is how this looks. And are you building a business to to sell out? Are you looking for VCs? Do you understand what that means? Or like, what are you trying to do? And he helps navigate. That's
cool.
amazing. So I did that.
I'm gonna need you to get me in contact with him for a loan bot.
I got you. Oh, dude, he
got it.
Yeah. So now what happens is I got a hold of the girl running it. Like Wes is the face, but you know, there's always somebody.
Of course.
And so I was talking with her because we hit it off, and she invited me. She's like, "Hey, you had a great time. We love spending time with you, and you were actually." Like, it sounds weird to say, but it's like you were overqualified for what you were doing.
Sure.
And you really understood the curriculum. Would you want to come back and be a judge and teach it?
How cool.
And so I was like, fuck yeah, I do. And so we filmed season 18. That's where I was out. I think it was a month and a half, 2 months ago.
Okay.
And so now I have the opportunity for all these future seasons to just continuously come back as a judge.
How cool.
And yeah, it's super fucking cool.
Now, something like that, it obviously takes away time from what you do day to day, but it is in hopes of gaining a platform, a bigger audience at a certain point in time. So it's kind of the idea of sacrifice now to gain more later, but also doing it for the better good of everybody, because it's intended for the advice that you give, the constructive criticism that you give, the transparency, and feedback on that particular situation. That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, no, it was, I would never think like I'm going to be a guy on a TV show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do they pay for something like that? Or is it just like, hey, you get all the content, you get to use it concept?
Yeah. And like, as you start to grow in it and as you're more there, like, you know, it's different for everybody, I'd imagine. But, I can tell you the experience is like second to none. And it was cool because I played the game. And then now I'm on the other side of understanding like the rubrics of the game.
Right.
And it's like, holy shit, this is like, dude, you thought of this? And he's like, yeah, I'm a fucking nerd. This is what I've been doing this. But it's something he's been developing for, I think he said like 12 or 13 years.
Okay.
Right. So it's like everybody sees what's happening now, but they don't know all the years that went into it for him to do it.
Literally just talked about that with JT and his wife in regards to everybody sees the now. Whatever it is that you made it big in, popular, what have you. Everybody only sees the now. No one sees that all of the milestones and bumps along the road, tragedies along the road that kind of defined you as the person getting to your destination. And it's not just I flipped a switch and now I'm here, guys. No. Sometimes it takes people 15 years. And those people, hats off to even more because they didn't give up. I mean, that's the one thing that I think many people are very common in that regard is when things get tough, they tend to tap out. And that's that.
And it's because that's who they are as a person. And that hurts for them to hear it.
For sure.
But it's like, I was talking about this yesterday. There was an event that I was at and somehow this conversation came up. But it's so easy for someone to say, oh, I don't do this because I lack confidence or I have a low self-esteem. Right. And it's like, okay, well, let's figure out the root cause of that. One, in the word self-esteem is self. It's only what you think of you.
That's right.
Not what others think of you. You can't say, oh, all these people say these things about me, and now I'm starting to think it's true. The reason you think it's true when you hear it is because they're telling you who you are, because that's who you're exerting. That's what you're emitting. That's what you're putting out there. So if you're someone who's always late and unreliable, and people tell you you're late and unreliable, you believe it because you know it's true.
That's right.
Right? Because you do it.
That's right.
Right? So now if it's like, hey, well, if I want to fix this and I want to be known for something different, I now have to start acting and doing the things of the person that would do those things. So if I don't want to be late anymore, guess what? Fucking rocket science, don't be late to things.
That's right.
Right. And then all of a sudden people stop saying those things and they're like, man, I noticed an improvement. And then improvement feels good when people recognize it.
That's right.
Right. And then that motivates you to keep going.
Increasing your self-esteem for yourself, I would imagine.
Exactly. Because the reason your self-esteem is low is because you break the promises that you give to yourself. Whether it's the small things of, hey, I'm going to start working out today. Hey, no, I'm going to do the diet. Hey, no, I'm going to spend more time with the kids. I'm going to do this many calls today. I'm going to do this many posts today. I'm going to make this much stuff. All those little things you say you're going to do, every single time you don't do it, it's an accumulation where it registers another deposit in your brain that says, oh, you ain't that fucking person.
Yeah.
Oh, you let yourself down again. Oh, you fucking lied to yourself again. And so then you bring that externally to people when you go to networking meetings, when you sit down with people. So then when you're like, oh, I don't have confidence. Well, it's because you lie to yourself every day.
That's
right.
Man, you hit it right on the head.
So like, how about we just start with something?
Start small, for
Right.
sure.
And then the second part is operating with feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, business doesn't care about your feelings. The people around you don't care about your feelings. And the reason that people like Wes and the other people can do something for 12 years, you think he didn't have a tough time?
Oh, yeah.
Any of the people you know, you don't think they didn't have a tough time? You didn't think they didn't want to give up? Yeah, they all had the same feelings. But when you can learn how to say, well, the work's got to get done anyway.
That's right.
It doesn't matter. Like, I woke up tired today. That doesn't mean I didn't go to the gym before I came here, because I have to do the work anyway.
That's right.
And then you always feel better after doing the work.
It's true. It is true. I mean, Joe Rogan says it all the time when he's giving that speech of, do you think that I want to go and kill myself in the morning and then get in this fucking cold plunge and kill myself again? No, never do I want to do that.
Nope.
I just do. And then afterwards I go, God, I'm glad I did that.
Yep. Yeah. There's never been one time. And even people that go with me, there's never been one time. Every second up until picking up the first weight.
Yeah.
They don't want to be there. They don't feel like it. They're tired. They're, they got the anxiety of how am I going to look by not being able to pick up this weight or do this exercise. By the end of the session, every single time, every single person is like, man, I feel better today.
Yeah. And they're winning by showing up.
Yeah.
Period.
And they're doing it regardless.
That's right.
If you do it regardless of the feeling, you will eventually have better feelings.
Yeah.
Because the work instills the worth. If you do the work, well, then you now feel worth it.
That's
so
right.
Your self-esteem goes up, your confidence goes up because you're doing the fucking work.
And what's crazy is it takes these small things of building blocks to build an empire. Whatever it is that you want to build in life, whether it is a tiny home or an empire, you've got to start with your foundation. Your foundation is, can I rely on myself every day? Can I go against the grain when my body says no? Am I still going to continue? When I'm tired, am I going to go to sleep, or am I going to take that coffee at 10 p.m., whatever the case may be, so that I can continue to finish what I set out to do in this day? Because guess what? I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Yep.
It could be another mountain of shit that's dumped on me.
And if you're going the entrepreneurial route, more than likely it is a mountain of shit.
That's right.
It's every day.
It's exactly
and,
right.
And so here's a thing that I like to do. And I think it was, because I want to give credit to him. I want to say it was Alex Hormozy said this. So it's not like I made this up.
Sure.
But I want to say it was him, that it was on one of his many podcast episodes on the clip that was just like, hey, when things get hard and I feel like giving up and I'm tired and I'm at that point where I'm just like, I'm brain fog, I'm done. He's like, I get excited when it gets hard because I know this is the point right now when everyone who's doing what I'm doing gets to the same point. They're going to go lay down.
Yeah.
They're going to go take a break. They're going to go for a mental break.
Yeah.
They're going to go do all these things. I'm going to fucking push through it because I know that's going to create the gap for me to get further.
Absolutely. And I'm going to reference what you just said back to sports. And the reason why is I think not everybody has gone through this, but I think many folks have been on a sports team at some point in time, whether it was middle school, high school, college, where you're doing practice, the basics, and you're being pushed by your coaches, and it's time to run laps, or it's time to do burpees, or it's time to do air raids, or whatever the case may be that just sucks. And your body is like, I can't do anymore. And then the whistle blows and you take that first step, and now you're continuing and you're doing another one. Because we as humans don't know what our body is capable of until we push it to the max limit, and then we push it again and push it again. But without, and I'm not saying it's not possible without, but without the coach, it's pretty tough to tell your body or push your body mentally, physically to get to the next rung, because you are capable of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it's your conversation with your brain, right? So it goes right back to like, if you're doing it on your own, then you're going to give up faster because your brain's going to trick you to say, oh, no, this is our breaking point. We've never been here before.
That's right.
Where the coach has developed people before and have seen this same pattern.
That's right.
And they're like, oh, I know exactly where you are right now because I've trained hundreds of other people. Hey, I'm going to push you past this because I know you can do it, but you don't know you can do it. And then it works.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I mean, those thresholds that you break into new thresholds or boundaries, there is no way that people are created to go from 0 to 100. You go from 0 to 60 and you think that that's your max. Then the next time you go to 0 to 65 and then 70. And then who knows, your 100 one day could actually be 200 because you've pushed that limit further than you even fathomed. So that being said, I want to kind of dive into our last topic, which has a lot to do with you, Dylan. You came on the scene 3-4 years ago. You jumped on the podcast before it was even Key Factors, it was Millennial Market Talk.
Yeah.
And we had a great discussion about credit. But all the while, you have continued to keep a pretty consistent and growing brand about yourself. That's something that I believe most salespeople, most entrepreneurs are trying to build, trying to figure out. We all want to have a brand like a Sony or an Apple or something like that. When you say the words, you can see what it is that they're talking about. You know how they sell that product. You know what that product does for you and how it makes you feel.
Yep.
That being the case, I have seen throughout the years, you grow your brand, and your brand is, and I hate to say it, it's not James Warren Group. It's not Credit Repair.
Yeah.
The brand is Dylan Shively. And I buy into that brand. How and why have you gone about that over the years and been so successful at it?
So it boils down to understanding what exactly you're trying to accomplish. So what is a brand? The brand is a reputation, right? So for humans, for example, for me, for a personal brand versus a brand like Apple, like there's not really like a face, it's the product. And we know the founder and whatever, but it's really about the product and how it makes you feel. But when you're trying to develop a personal brand, that means the term, again, just like in self-esteem, there's self. Well, in personal brand, there's person. So in order to build the brand, you got to build the person. Right? So now what happens is what type of person, AKA, what do I want my reputation to be like? When someone mentions my name, when it's brought up in a room and I'm not there, what do they say? What do they think? How do they feel? Very similar to what you said in the beginning.
That's right.
But I'm thinking of it about me. So if I want to be reliable, if I want to be trustworthy, if I want to be somebody that people want to come to for answers, if I want to be somebody that you can have confidence in, that I'm going to always pull through and do what I say I'm going to do, then those are the literal things I'm going to practice behind the scenes every single day with every single thing I do. So I can start to forge myself into that person. So I'm building my reputation. We just call it a brand. Right. So I think of brand as reputation. So
And before you go further, I think it's important for folks to know that these traits, these activities that Dylan is talking about are not things that you should do only when people are looking or only when you can publicize it to be able to trump your brand. It's always, regardless of what's on social, regardless of what you can actually market. These are the traits that you do. These are the things that I'm going to start practicing so that when it's time to put it out into the public, there's no question as to what your character is, what your trades, what I can count on you on, etc. Go ahead.
Yeah. And also another point is their skills, right? And so we could go down to the ability to speak, right? So sometimes people will say, oh, this person, like not even just me, like they'll just say like, oh my God, this person's a natural. One, that's super disrespectful to the person because nobody's a natural. What happens is they put in the reps, right? So if there's this thing you want to be, whether it's known for or whatever, you have to be the actual thing. So if you're not there, so let's just say the speaking. I want to be a better speaker. In order to be a better speaker, you have to go speak as many times as possible to put the reps in to find out, do I put in too many words? Am I explaining it too in depth? What are the things that I need to change? So you get opportunities to speak and then you make adjustments along the way, which means you have to be okay with criticism
and failure. Absolutely. Yes.
So when somebody says, oh, I really like this, it was very informative, I understand hearing it. Informative meant, whoa, that was a lot of information and it's hard for me to digest.
That's right.
Right. So
Read between the lines.
I take feedback, and I want actually the bad stuff. I don't want you to tell me how good I did. I want you to tell me, what you thought could have been better.
It's almost in the beginning. You don't want fans, you want critics.
Right. And honestly, you will never have fans in the beginning.
Yeah, it's true.
It doesn't fucking matter. Nobody is ever, like, you don't have, like, I see it all the time where people, hey, I got this new job, and everybody says congratulations. Right?
Yes.
But let's not mistake, they are not your fans.
That's right.
Right? They're being supportive.
Mhm.
They are not your fans.
Yeah.
So
That's a great point.
when you start to do these new things and you start to become this person, here's the second stage of what happens. The people around you start to try to do the crabs in a bucket method, where they're just like, whoa, why are you going to the gym now? Whoa, why are you doing this now? Why are you speaking different? Why are you listening to this podcast? Why are you doing this thing? And a lot of people get trapped in that because they're afraid to separate from their friends group.
Mhm.
Oh, you're acting different now. Like, hey, I'm glad you noticed, because I'm actually trying
That's
to,
right.
to make this
That
effort.
was the goal.
Right.
Yes.
So then eventually, like, everybody in the beginning wants the praise, they want the support, they want the fans, but you earn the fans by becoming the person. And we've all heard the term where it's like, I may butcher it a little bit, but it's pretty much, it's not the friends and family. It's always like the strangers.
Right.
Right. And then when you get enough strangers, the friends and family then
They
come
jump
and,
on the bandwagon.
and then what do they say? I always knew you could do it. I'm so proud of you. I was always rooting for you. Like, that's weird because I don't see any of these invoices with your fucking name on it.
That's exactly right. And you know what? When I asked you to invest so that it could take me less time to get to this point,
Yep.
you weren't able to, or you didn't want to, or you didn't believe in me enough to risk the money.
Yep.
Put your money where your mouth is. So,
Yep.
no big deal.
And then now I'll bring it right back in a personal brand for that topic. So why do people not want to, in that example, like, hey, oh, this is a risk, I don't want to invest my money, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's because right now what that currently is you've never accomplished anything to give them the confidence to say, hey, this is not a risk, take all my money. And that's okay, because now you recognize it and say, well, I'm going to build this thing anyway.
That's right.
And then as you build it, now they want to give you the money.
Mhm.
Just like we'll bring it back to the fans. When the fans start coming and saying, I'm so proud of you, I knew you could do it. Hey, let's collab. Hey, let's whatever. By then, you've already done so much of the work to get to that point where you don't need them.
Exactly right.
You don't need their praise. You don't care for them to be a fan because you're going to remember every time they shit on you along the way when it didn't exist.
Absolutely relatable 100% to my situation, your situation.
Yeah.
We've all gone through it. And once we got to the point where it was like, I don't need those fans.
Nope.
I'll appreciate them. I'll still take the feedback, but guess what?
Yeah.
Built this sucker without you.
Yep. and now what?
It's kind of the same concept on a similar basis to if we only did business with our friends, we'd all be broke.
Yep.
And that is, I think it's very true. I mean, coming into the business, whether it's real estate, selling cars, mortgage, doesn't matter. You get in those initial folks, your friends, family, sphere of influence, so to speak, they're seeing you jump into an industry that's new. They're wondering, how long is it going to be until they're on to the next one?
Yep. Because you've already built that reputation of being the person who bounces around.
Thus far, that's your brand.
Right.
What are you going to do to change that? And it's not an overnight flip of the switch.
Nope.
It's over time, consistency, being repetitive and true to whatever it is that you're setting out to being. If it's, I want to be known as the person that shows up on time, answers their phone, etc., then do those fucking things.
Yeah. And it's not just one time and it's not over a month. And here's the thing. When somebody says, well, how long do I have to do that for?
Huh.
That's no, this is who you are.
It's you now.
Right. Remember, the brand is the reputation. So for example, from day one of you meeting me all the way to now, my outfit has been the fucking same.
That's right. Consistent.
The way I speak has been the same.
Mm-hmm.
You will see me off camera with a bang in my hand, wearing shorts, no matter what the fucking temperature is.
Exactly right.
Because that's who I am. I'm not faking myself online. I'm not thinking, what do I got to do for people to like me? I am who I am. And I actually get excited to find out faster who doesn't like my brand so I can wean them out and make more room for the people who do want to work with me.
Yeah, that's strong, powerful, on the money, especially from the aspect of the folks that are asking, how long do I need to do this for? are the ones that are not truly buying into their own brand.
No.
Because the brand is just supposed to be an articulation visually and conceptually and whatever of who you are. That's what it is. I mean, if you want to build a company brand, different story. Now you've got to tell their story. Now, every single person within your company needs to adopt those same principles, philosophies, missions,
core values, missions.
There you go. And you as the leader has to make sure that you've got the right people on your team that adopt that. And if it doesn't, and you've got one bad apple's got to go. Why? Because this speaks for the volume of my entire organization. This brand, James Warren Group in this case. But when you are building your brand as an individual salesperson, it's you. It's the traits that you do and establish and show everybody every day with your actions. Bottom line.
Right? And here's another part. So here's some real quick actionable reminders. So it's not just like, hey, yeah, that's cool, I'm going to do it. But it's like, there's at least one person that's like, well, what do I do? Okay, here's how you can make an immediate change that people will appreciate. And I'm talking about like fucking instantly.
Okay.
For some reason, people think that when they get a message, they get a DM, they get a text, they're under this old school way of selling to portray the level of busyness, even if you're not, by delaying the response. Right? So you know what you can start doing right now? Showing up on time can be 10 to 15 minutes early. And then they're going to be like, whoa. And then when somebody texts you, respond to them immediately. When someone DMs you, respond to them immediately. When you're making a post and people are taking the time to comment on your stuff, reply to every single comment.
Absolutely.
No matter what it is, even if it's just a thumbs up, a fire emoji, reply to every single one. If you can reply faster and you reply every time, oh, but if it makes me too accessible, well, guess what? When you're more accessible, people want to work with you because they could get access to you, and that only helps you.
Yes, sir.
So start with responding faster, take more time on your responses, and make sure if you're going to ask for people to show love, initiate it by doing it first.
Give love.
Don't ask me to share some shit when you've never shared some shit of mine.
That's right.
Don't ask me like, I get it all the time now. Dylan, would you mind doing this? And so I tell them that you could think I'm an asshole. Well, I don't give a fuck. But I'm like, I tell them, no, I'm not going to. And then they're just like, what? And I'm like, hey, I can't find in my notifications the last time I've ever seen your name sharing my shit.
That's right.
And so, and I've literally had people, Dylan, I see this big platform. You got these people, blah, blah. And I really need help with my business. Business owners should help business owners.
Cool. Let me take a percentage.
Yeah. Like what?
There's people you can pay to actually do this.
Right.
Why do you feel that it is okay, number one, to ask that? Number two, if I tell you no, why do you think that is?
Why is that an insult?
Exactly. Like whoa, there's a reason why I got here and there's a reason why you're asking me.
Right.
So here's the response.
Exactly.
Learn from it and maybe adopt it in yours when you get to this point.
Exactly. And then it's going to happen to them eventually if they ever get to the point.
Correct.
But here's another thing you could do too. Just find out how you can help other people and don't ask them to go scratch your back after.
Yeah. And it's the idea, we talked about it last time, and it's very apparent that we practice these things and it's, shit, where did I go with it? JC, what was that we were talking? Deposits.
Yes.
Make deposits.
Yeah. Deposits and withdrawals.
And then it's time to make the withdrawal. Right.
Yep.
But you can't go around asking people for stuff if you've never deposited, if you never filled their cup up. Fill everybody's cup up.
The only question you should ever ask when you're trying to get something from somebody is, hey, I may not have as big of a following as you. Hey, I may not have these things. I love what you do. I've been paying attention to your stuff, and I want to know, how can I contribute? Do you want me to share something? Do you want me to connect you with somebody? And then when they say, oh yeah, that'd be awesome, don't be like, okay, cool. So now no, just do it because it's the right thing to do. Not to get too deep on this time. I don't know where things will go, but whether you call universe, God, whatever, let's talk about the part of manifesting something.
Sure.
So when you see somebody winning,
isn't that crazy? JT talked about that too, manifesting.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. No, these are like other thing. This is not a bad thing right now.
Okay. So let's talk about that and how you create momentum. right? So when you see somebody that's winning and the first thing you do is hate on it or think how you can get something from them, whether you've said it externally or you even thought it, you've already started okay, you don't like when people win unless you benefit from it. Well, I'm going to make sure that this never happens to you.
Right.
Right. And so if you love when people win, now God, universe, however you want to identify is, hey, this person loves the idea of winning. I'm going to give them more of that.
That's right.
Right. So you got to be careful of what you say and what you think. So how you approach people when you're like, if you try to fake hey, I want to support you because you have this real deep intention of what you're going to get from acting like you're going to support them, is the reason why they're never going to allow you to support them, because just the way it works, you're going to be cut off.
That's right.
Right. So you have to pay attention to what you say and what you even think before you say it. So when it goes into against any level of winning, when people are progressing, right? So if you see somebody that just started going to the gym and the first thing you do is you try to critique something that they're doing, well, now what's going to happen is your progress is probably going to slow down. People are going to critique you on your thing. You're like, oh, what the fuck? You did that.
Yeah.
If you want to talk the science-based aspect of it, it's the RAS. It's your reticular activating system. It's like when you buy the car, then you see the car everywhere.
Right.
Well, things you say, the things you think, now your RAS is working as that filter to say, I'm going to make everything you're thinking become true.
Yeah.
And if you understand you have that superpower or whatever you want to call it, why would you waste your time on anything that isn't beneficial for growth and expansion?
That's right. That's right. Keep all the BS out of your life. Yeah.
It's funny. And the ones that are actually critiquing are the ones that have no business critiquing in that certain category or space.
It's true.
Like
Unbelievable.
I had a post that I want, and I do it to trigger people because it's so fun. So like,
see, and most people, I'll put out political posts every once in a while, or it's just to get the people filled up. I have no intentions of being rude, mean. Let's get some shit stirred up.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll do that. I'll put a little political post out there just so I can hear from people I haven't heard from in months or a year.
You're still around.
And here's the crazy thing. So, and that makes a whole lot of sense. I'll give you a specific example. Well, there's two of them. So one, the other company that I have VPN, part of the contract with the guys that work for us is you have to go to the gym with us every day. Well, it's Monday through Saturday. You still go to the gym Sunday, but it's optional if you come with us or not.
Okay.
Just because if you're putting yourself in better physical shape, well, then your mental gets stronger. You feel better about yourself as you start seeing the progress, right?
That's right. Working out gives you endorphins and it makes you happy. And happy people don't kill people.
Exactly. So now what happens as part of their contract is if they miss 3 sessions, they're fired.
Ooh, that's strong.
Right. So now what happens is I'm holding you accountable more than anybody's ever have.
Yes.
But guess what? Their mood is significantly better. The quality of their content is significantly better. The way they think, the way they speak, the way they present themselves, their energy, their frequency when they show up is different. It's better. And so now it's creating the ripple effect of just people being better and winning. So where that goes with this is I posted my stories every day, like we were saying before. I posted my stories every day of them working out, right? Us at the gym every day, because it does a couple things. It inspires the right people.
Absolutely.
And then it also triggers the right people. So see, the thing is about like being like that healer or that person that wants to go and help people is you don't actually solve anything for anybody. You have to trigger them to the point of like no return where it's going to force them into doing the thing that actually helps them.
Yeah.
Right. So
without even doing it directly.
Right. So now what happens is I make the post and we're getting so many people when we show up to events and stuff. Dylan, I've been loving your stories. I've been watching this guy. I've noticed that his push-ups got better. I noticed that this happened. Hey, I started doing more myself. I've been saying I was going to do it and now I'm doing it. Whoa, you guys are doing a run and a jog. I wanted to do, and now I'm doing it. And so I'm also starting to see the ripple effect of more people posting content of them trying to better themselves.
Yeah.
And it's fucking awesome.
It's becoming contagious.
And then there's the, oh, your form is wrong. and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You can fuck all the way up.
Like, that's weird. My form is off because I don't see you doing anything.
That's right.
It's always the ones that aren't doing anything that have the most to say.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
kind of just like JC was saying. Yeah, you're exactly right. You have no business even commenting on this the way that you did.
Yeah.
How about a good job?
Yeah. And so I used to get really offended by it initially, but then I realized I'm like, ooh, give me more of it.
Yeah.
Because you know what happens now? I do even more push-ups in the right form. And then guess what? I get to throw it in your fucking face that I'm better than you.
That's right.
Like you got a lot of shit to say and I do a lot of shit. So it's like, so what we do 20 down and 20 up. So by the time, so it's like, we'll do teams. It's 2 and 2.
Okay.
So they'll go down, do 20, then we do 20, then 19, 19, 18, 18, 17, 17, all the way down, and then all the way up. By the end of it, that's 420 push-ups.
Yeah.
Right. So, and we're hitting this very, very often. So now I was like, so my form got it. Okay. Hey guys. So look, what we're going to do now is we're going to do 500. Right. So now I just do more. And then the fun thing is there's only 1 or 2 people that get triggered by it. But there's so many more people that are actually counting.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, you guys are doing more.
Well, and motivated.
Exactly. Yeah. They get motivated and inspired. So now I learned how to take this negativity, turn it into productive action. And now my ripple effect has been bigger to help more people, which was the ultimate goal. So I feel good when I go to sleep. I feel good when I wake up. I feel good when I walk in a room because, again, the work instills the worth. You can say anything you want about the form, but guess what? I'm fucking doing it and you're not.
Absolutely.
And if I ever had you in person and we did it, we'll find out who does what.
Yeah.
It'll humble you really fucking quick.
Absolutely. Dylan, I've got like 5 more minutes left.
Sweet.
But I want to ask you about an acronym that I heard pretty catchy. It's VPM.
Yeah.
What's that about?
VPM, Vision Partners Media. Okay. So the idea came from Malcolm and I. So Malcolm's my business partner in this. And I'm the guy who has the connections, built the stuff, built the brand. Yeah. People know me, and I've done social media boot camps, brand building boot camps, and I've been helping people, learn how to do stuff. At the end of the day,
and these are things, mind you, folks listening, that ever since I've met Dylan has been doing these things for free, giving out the goods, giving the nuggets, as we talked about, showing the people behind the curtain on how you get to these places. At $0.
Yep.
Go for it.
So yeah, that part. So because again, if I can force people into action, even taking the first step, I know that means it's more likely they're going to take the second step.
Yeah.
And then the third step. And then they build momentum. And then now their self-esteem goes up. Then their confidence goes up. And then when they go to work, now they show up as a better employee for that organization.
That's right.
If they own a business, they're showing up better for their employees. And then that means they have a better day at work. When they have a better day at work, they then come home and then they're a better father. They're a better husband. They're a better brother. They're a better sister, whatever. Because male and female, right? It doesn't matter. They show up better. And now everybody gets to feel that. The day is that much better for the kids. The day is that much better for the spouse. The day is that much better for the employees. The day is that much better for the bosses. And then it's the friends groups. And then it just fucking goes.
Yeah.
And that is the coolest thing ever.
I agree.
So now what happens with VPM, Malcolm and I started it, and our jobs is to make sure that like my specific role is I help people build confidence on camera.
Okay.
Right. So they got things they want to say. They got a message. They got a solution, but sometimes they word vomit. Yeah. Sometimes they don't know how to bring the right energy. They don't understand how to do it because they're nervous. And so what I'm saying is that's okay. I'm going to push you to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And then Malcolm, and then now the team, because we have multiple shooters, is saying, we're going to make you look fucking awesome. So then that way, when you see it, you're going to be like, whoa, I did this. It's the equivalent to the gym. I'm forcing you to go. The guys are going to show you what to do. And then at the end of it, you're going to be like, that was fucking awesome.
That's right.
Because again, you build the person and then the brand follows.
And you know damn well when you go to the gym and after a week, you're not seeing the results. But then week 2, all of a sudden you see your triceps popping out. And you're like, okay, now I'm going to go even harder at the gym.
Yep.
Same concept.
It's the same thing.
You get that finished content and you go, holy shit, that's me?
And it's happened almost every time.
Yeah.
Almost every time we've done stuff for people. So we'll do anything from like headshots, listing photos, the stuff like that. But we're creating reels. We're building people's whole brands. We're helping them build brand identities and then like creating characters for them that they've wanted to do.
That's all.
And here's the cool thing. So we don't do anything with like we're not paying because they're posting it on their own.
Sure.
Nobody's boosting posts. Nobody's doing anything. We got people that would get 30, 40, 50 views on all the stuff they would do that are now getting 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. We got people that would get 5 to 10,000 that are getting 80,000, 100,000, and their engagement is nuts.
Wow.
And they're posting on their platform.
Sure.
We're not doing anything.
Yeah, there's no boosted anything. This is just raw content, but curated by you guys, giving them that blueprint, motivating them in the process, where as if you were doing it on your own, you don't have that person saying, you know what, do it again.
Yeah. More energy, change that, do this. Usually most people are, I don't like how I sound. Oh, I don't like this angle. The lighting isn't good. Oh, I'm too busy today.
And then they just don't do it.
Right. So we eliminate all the excuses. We produce all the content and we give it to you. So, oh, I don't have time to edit. I don't have the equipment. We have the equipment. We have the time to edit. And so we're just like credit. I feel like we're already taking it by storm.
Yeah.
Because we're producing for a lot of people right now.
Yeah.
And the thing I'm most obsessed with, again, is building the people's brand by starting with building the person. So even clients that we have are all invited. Hey, you didn't like how you looked in that video. You want to come to the gym with us?
Boom.
You know what I mean? It's about building the person.
That's awesome.
Right. So I'm just wildly obsessed at the moment with building the people, because then the people could do the things they want to do when the person is built.
That's right.
And that's what VPM's doing.
It's a whole lot of leverage and parlaying into a better way of life. Almost like a church concept where everybody buys in. We're all here to motivate each other. We're all here to give constructive feedback. But you know what? I'm going to be here again tomorrow.
Yep.
And I'd love to see your face here, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's something that, man, who knows how big this concept can get, because it's no longer a concept. You guys are practicing it.
Yeah. It's there's deposits, there's payroll, there's flights. In a couple days, I'm going to Denver. I don't know if you know who Will Grimes is.
I've heard the name. Yep.
So I'm going to speak at his event in Denver. It's the day of it is the 23rd, but we're going the 22nd to the 24th. Never been to Denver before.
Okay.
But going there, going to speak
to Denver?
No.
Okay. You'll like it. It's going to be cold this time of year.
Yeah. I'm still going to wear shorts, but I might throw on a hoodie.
I guarantee it. Yeah.
But yeah, so like we're going to do that and go produce some content there. Then towards the beginning of 2025, we have scheduled out where we're going to go to India for 14 days.
Oh, cool, man.
Like, dude, if I told you some of the stuff off camera, what was built,
13 hours ahead.
Yeah.
Whew.
Like, so we're getting flown to outside of the country. We're getting flown to different states. We're doing big things for people because they're seeing the quality of the production. They're hearing what we're doing. But then when they're actually in it and they see the final product, they understand, whoa, this is not just somebody holding a camera.
No.
It is so much different than that. And so, yeah, this is real. It's happening. You could go to visionpartnersmedia.com. You can see what's up. You can see stuff we've produced already. There's nothing we can't do. It could be videos. It could be podcast setup. It could be headshots. It could be listing photos. We've done team photos yesterday, event recaps. We can throw events. We can do production days. There's nothing we can't do.
Boom. And that being the case, guys, there is nothing that you can't do either. It takes a lot of hard work, dedication, investing in yourself, being honest with yourself, and then actually making those corrective measures in order to become the brand that you would like to see. Envision what you want to be, then you go do what you say you're going to do. Dylan, I want to thank you for coming back on here. As always, brother, you are
Thanks
the
for
fan.
having me, bro.
Hopefully we get another one in next month or so. And who knows when you're going to start charging me to do this shit.
Nah, never that. Never that.
I love it. Well, guys, gals out there, hopefully you're getting exactly what you came here for. We will continue to be providing you with a new guest each week. And sometimes it's the same guest talking about different shit. All in all, I think that was a good episode. So we will catch you on the next one.